Good evening, everybody. Matt the Garden Guy here. Back from my vacation, doing some garden work. Y'all know what those are. Those nasty Japanese beetles flying around here. Finally got here in Wisconsin. I know they've gotten to other people, but put these clothing over Brussels sprouts, your cabbages, your broccoli, any of those leaf plants. This should help protect them. Now, the Japanese beetle do like to go after your beans here. These are my pinto beans. There's not much you can do about that besides just spraying with some of that neem oil. But the pinto beans, the black beans in the back are doing really awesome right now. I got this roll of potatoes here, starting to flower. Rule of thumb for potatoes: as soon as they flower, typically a couple weeks after they flower, they'll start dying back, and then you can start harvesting your potatoes. So I got that clothing over my my cabbages and that. I got those on there yesterday. This evening, I'm doing a little bit of my pruning on my tomatoes. I did a video on pruning tomatoes probably about 2 weeks ago. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend you guys watching it and doing it right now. Look at this tomato plant. It's almost as tall as I am. I'm about 5'9". It's up to my nose. I really believe pruning my tomato plant really helped out. I also hit these guys with a fish fertilizer. You go find it over on my Amazon store. The link will be down below. I also, if you guys have never planted your tomatoes with Epsom salt. So this year I hit these guys with Epsom salt when I put them in the ground. I think the Epsom salt, the fish fertilizer helped. I think the thing that helped the most is pruning the tomato plants. So that one, right there. Ooh, right there. That's a Roma tomato plant. That one's really not going to get that big. But this one right here, that one's amazing. This one right here, I mean, it's almost just as tall as that one right there. So prune your tomato plants. They help with disease control. It also helps with diverting the plant's energy into growing the tomato. So make sure you prune your tomato plant. I'm also in here. I had a green tray right over here. See, now it's empty. I had a green tray growing some lettuce. And I just transplanted that lettuce right into here. I had some lettuce that was bolting, so I just ripped it out and I put the lettuce right in here. So it works really good. The lettuce, believe it or not, has been growing amazing this year inside my hoop house. The other day, actually no, I think it was this morning, we were making a smoothie for breakfast. My wife was like, I'm sick and tired of kale. We need some more greens. So what do? When I need more greens, right? We don't grow collard greens. Spinach right now is not going to grow. It's just too hot. We don't really have any broccoli leaves right now that we can use. I guess we could grab some cabbage leaves, but the one thing I do when we need more greens, highly recommend everybody to grow these. That's right, micro greens. So this batch that I'm growing is going to be broccoli, kohlrabi, radishes, turnips, and it does have the collards, and it's just going to be the small parts. We don't really like to eat the collard greens, like the big long guys, so we don't grow those. Grow these microgreens, probably within 2 weeks or sooner. We'll have some greens that we could start using. So, microgreens. If you guys don't grow them, highly recommend you to grow them. These microgreens are super easy. They come in multiple different varieties. I got these microgreens that I'm going to be putting in the ground. I actually also have these microgreens right here. These are baby green. So these are for my smoothie. So I have these. I mean, we could just, if we wanted to, I could just pick these right out. So right here. They're good. Just eat them right out of the ground, man. some other microgreens right here. These are beet leaf microgreens. If you're looking to try out that beet leaf pesto recipe that I have out there, I had a couple people ask me about it. Go over to my YouTube. I think YouTube does a better way of displaying videos and that, and way easier to search. So go over to YouTube, search for Matt the Garden Guy, find my YouTube page, and while you're there, hey, hit that subscribe button, and you'll find my beet leaf pesto recipe in there. I have a playlist on cooking with the food that you grow. So go there, check out that playlist. I think I have 3 things in there. I think I have one on guacamole, beet leaf pesto. I think I have one other thing on there. But point being is that if you don't want to wait so long for the beets, like I got right there, or right there, or way over there, got beets all over the place. You can grow these micro beet leaves. They take about 20 days. You just pull the tops right off. You make your pesto with those beet leaves as well. Or just grind them up and eat them. Or do what my wife's been doing. She's been, with our greens, she's been making a green powder. You guys have probably seen it. Go search over on my Instagram. On my headlines, you'll see, again, cooking with the food. And you'll see I have a pinned story there of her making the greens, but we just pull them out, dehydrate them, grind them up, and we put them in our mason jars. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these microgreens here in the ground. Starting to get pretty dark. It's almost 9 o'clock here. Get these microgreens in the ground. I think I'm gonna finish it up today. I did pull a couple more onions out of the ground. Question, when are onions ready? Well, for me personally, I wait for the onions to fall over. Simply all I do is go up to them and I barely tug on them. If they come right out of the ground, I know they're ready. So I got a bunch of onions right here. I got a couple more in the house. What I do is, in my rafters in my garage, I have a piece of, what's it called? Shelving, I think it is, with those little slots in it. A lot of people put them in their closets. But I have them laying in my rafters, and I put them down like this. So when you're drying out your onions, you want to make sure that roots, the top, is facing up. And I go in and keep them in my rafters for a couple weeks. Hey, so got pretty dark out here. My neighbor stopped by. I was talking to him really quick. But if you guys haven't checked out the moon yet tonight, it's pretty big. Kids are going to go crazy. Typically, full moon, my kids are crazy, but I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble along. If you don't know yet, or if you haven't already, go check out my Instagram. If you guys use Instagram, go check out Instagram and look for Matt the Garden Guy. Hit that follow button over there. I'm trying to grow my, I don't know what you call it, appearance or audience over on Instagram. So go over there, Instagram, Matt the Garden Guy. Hit that follow button. One other thing, YouTube. You can check Matt the Garden Guy. Subscribe over there. Appreciate it so much. If you guys can do it, awesome. If not, hey, get it. No worries. But yeah, helps me out a lot. Trying to continue to grow my platform everywhere. And remember, the reason why I'm doing this, my mission is to help people grow their own food. That's it. Nothing else. I want to get my message out there to people so they can grow the food they eat. Matt the Garden Guy, I'm out. You guys have a good night. Talk to you later.